But Unia Ayawa, they went to me and found channel. He said, if a brother has an ought against you, stop it. Go and mend your ways. Either than that, the Lord shall not hear. He didn't say wait after church, go and make up. He said stop. Because that moment you start prayer without correcting that 2 hours you spend is nothing. You might as well sit down while they are praying, cross your leg, and get a coconut with an umbrella on top. So people are praying and God is not answering. They think it's the devil. It's no devil. Check it. Check it. The other day, the Lord was ministering something to me. Don't worry, I'm coming back to our singles because I want to connect something. The Lord was ministering something to me. So for today, there are so many ministers, singers, choir, ushering, preachers, teachers in the church who do not even carry the presence of God. I was shocked one day when I heard Prophet Brian Carr said something. He said, God is the only boss who can fire you and you will still be working.
Yes. Yes.
That's true. That's true.
God is the only boss who can fire you and you will still be working. King Saul was a king over Israel for 40 years. He was only anointed for 2. So for 38 years he was on the throne without God. 38 years. Because by the second year, when the people gave him pressure, the Bible says that he rose up waiting for Samuel. Samuel wasn't coming. So he went ahead and made the sacrifice. Few hours later, Samuel showed up and said, why have thou done this? Today, the Lord has taken the kingdom from you and given it to another. It was in the second year. For it is better to obey than to sacrifice. When Samuel left that place, he went straight to the house of Jesse and poured oil on the head of David to anoint him as king. David had to wait for 38 years before he ascended the throne. Which means for 38 years, Solomon was on the throne, but he's already been fired. Saul. There are so many of us preachers that have been fired by God years ago. But we are still preaching all right. We're preaching all right. And you see the funny thing is the church. The problem is that because the church can see you shout and sweat and say, hey, you are anointed. Because the church does not know the difference between the presence of God and gift. The Lord would leave you and you can still cast out demons. It's a gift. And the gift of God are not returnable. When he gives it to you, it's yours. Didn't you read Jesus said, for on that day I will say I knew you not. And then they will ask, but we cast out demons in your name. We healed the sick in your name. Which means that you can be healing the sick and God has nothing to do with it. It's a gift. The question you need to ask yourself is God really with me? Because your businesses could be flourishing and God had nothing to do with it. In the book of Corinthians, the Bible says that for I would not have you to be ignorant how that all our fathers went through the sea, for they were all baptized unto Moses, for they all went through the pillar of cloud by day and the pillar of fire by night, for they all went through the sea and they were baptized unto Moses. They ate the food of angels and drank the drink from the rock that followed them, for that rock was Christ. But with many of them God was not well pleased, because these people were not pleased though, yet they were eating the food of angels. Erade body home by now, so any day. It's funny what is going on in the church. Because of our itchy ears, we cannot even pick the truth. We like falsehood. And I've met so many, I do a lot of single stuff, a lot. I've met so many singles and young adults who are saying they are praying and searching and looking, and sometimes the brother is sitting next to you, but he doesn't look like what you are looking out for. I want a short guy. He must be a big child, you know, so that when I have it around me, I can squeeze him like gravy. I want a chubby one. I don't want bones. You have him, you can feel, you know, something hit you and you think it's funny in your pocket. Maybe you want a chubby one, but God is bringing you a skinny one. It takes someone that is prepared to open their spirits to God. To know the Lord. And because we have become masters at the pretending game, we know how to cover it. I can come to this church and I can preach the truth of God's word genuinely. When I finish, then I say, I want you to come and support the word of God. People go through their pocket. $2, $1, $5, $10, $5. Yes, support the word of God. And let me come here and wear a different anointing. Hey, my sister, wake up. You. That was a video that was circulating. A prophet ministering in church. He said, you. Me who said, Nia Oya wono, dua bi esi ho, and we turn no de wa shake ya ni. 1,000 Ghana cedis bra. Me yi we frame na ma shake Ghana cedis. Sister no so your crowd woni hu ni na pay 500. Ko yi ni person ni na e ba. When he got there, the prophet said, where is it? Bring the seed. He said, sorry, prophet, I only have 500. I don't have, I can bring the rest later. He said, is that so? Bring it. Took the 500, put it in. Pray in the name of Jesus. Pray. When he finished, he said, I have cut the wood half. When you bring the other half, I will take away the other half. But that is what the church is. We fail to walk in the truth. This is my third or fourth visit to the United States. Sometimes, some of the men of God, I am by the grace of God, because of the nature of my ministry, I get to places. So, we saw you are in America, you know, and we saw you doing some work. Wow, I hope they gave you good offering. I said, the preaching I preach doesn't take offering. Because I don't go to lie to the people. Obiti says, I play you bomb cheap. You should jam canning. We are now about the nature of my ministry don't go like that. So sometimes I will take money out of my coffers, buy a ticket, I go home with nothing. Because I don't honor invitations, I go on assignments. There are two different things. I didn't come here because I was invited. It was time. I know that something I'm saying here is changing the dynamics in the realm of the spirit for someone. No, I don't do that. When I'm led by the Spirit of God, I will take an offering. Now walk away. There are places I go, they don't even give me anything. But that's not why I'm there. I can eat, I have my return ticket. On that day, I go back. I'm done. Others who come and say, God bless you. Oh, that is it. Because the church don't want the truth. They want to be lied to. I see my friends, some of them are apostles, what? Oh, some of them have big names. Well, recently, one of them has a corner church with 20 members. He's been ordained as an apostle. I looked at him, and you got corner store, right? So there are corner churches. Small corner, 20 people. He said he's an apostle. I said, which disciple? He said, my brother, stop the nonsense. Pastor Mensa Otabil has churches all across the world. He is a voice commanding many. He's still a pastor. You haven't even converted 2 souls. You are an apostle. I told him, my brother, I will be honest with you. You must understand something. That the title you take determines the level of the battle that comes to you. Listen, Uriah was in battle, Bathsheba's wife, when David slept with the wife and brought him back to go home and sleep with the wife. When he didn't go, he gave him a letter. The Bible says the letter took him to the command. The command put him straight at the front of the battle, which means that although he was in battle, he was fighting at the level he could handle. Because at another level, he would not survive. They killed him there. You are taking unto yourself titles that don't belong to you. That is the level of battles you walk. Be ready for it. Someone died for us. They called him Jesus. Moses died. Moses. This is the biggest prophet I have seen in all creation. Numbers tells me so. God said, I speak. He said, is there a prophet among you? For I speak to them through dreams and visions. But my servant Moses is not so. For face to face and mouth to mouth, I talk to him. When Moses wrote the books of Genesis, it was over 2,020 years after. Noah came to pass, Abraham came to pass, Isaac, Jacob, all of them came to pass. God didn't trust them with the revelation. It took Moses to bring that revelation down. He wasn't there when Adam was naming the things at creation. God was the only one present. So the way we knew these things is by dictation. God says, here is a book, sit down. And then he started writing. Genesis 1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. For the whole, he started writing. And then he said, walk with me. This one is a sheep. See, this one is chicken. That's a baobab tree. This one is a neem tree. That one is coconut. This is a palm. This, mahogany. He wasn't there. But God. How do we know what Moses wrote down and what he was referring to? He was also drawing as well. Because that is the only one we could know what he referred to by mahogany. So we could decipher mahogany from neem. He was the only one God spoke to like this. Yet, when we call him Moses. You are seeing people's telephone number. And you are a prophet general. The church, you see, it's funny what goes on today. People are giving Facebook prophecy. That's what the church wants. I'll explain it to you. Let's say that and I are friends on Facebook, right? He's invited me to come to his church. So what I will do is that I go onto his feed and his page and check out his friends. Then I check some pictures from church service. Oh, this person is in the church. That's the name of the person.